Hello, my name is Karun Gizura and I'll be taking you through a session on impact reporting or communicating results. Communicating results means we are focusing on the outcomes of the project, looking at the successes of what the project you implemented has achieved. So this is a cycle of the goals, the mission you want, the goals you set, what are the desired outcomes of that goal, what are the strategies you're going to use to receive the results that you want, and then after you receive the results. So following this cycle, this session is particularly to help us understand what results are and how we are going to communicate results. So why communicate results? With the increased competition for funds and demand for greater return on investment, it's essential programs communicate on results and impact. So effective communication results can help us build trust and influence. You will be able to be understood by the people and they will accept the things that you do if you constantly communicate the results that you get from your project. Then it helps in strengthening existing partnerships. This could be with your stakeholders or with your donors. It helps us attract new donors when they see the result from the different projects you are doing. They are most likely going to want to work with you and they will come to invest money in your specific programs. So it also helps you demonstrate the contribution to advancement of common goals, the SDG goals, for example. It helps us promote accountability and transparency. The donors and the different stakeholders will be able to see the things that you're doing with the money that they invest in your company or organization. So they also help us in capturing progress over time. When you communicate about your project results, people are able to track where you started, what you've done, what you've achieved, so it's easy for them to see the progress. Educating decision makers about impact of your program. Now, like for example, Enable does projects, education programs, so it will be good if the Ministry of Education can see some of the work that you do and the successes. It could even help them in decision making and policy making, but that would come from the results, you sharing the positives of what the projects you're implementing have done. Then sharing best practices with the team or similar funded programs. When you share best practices, the team, like especially the people who will come after the project was implemented, or even the people who are implementing in case they get other jobs, the people who come, the new people will be able to see what worked, how it worked, and then they will implement that. So by sharing the results, you share the best practices to even other people in different organizations but doing the similar work that you do. So it also helps in strengthening existing partnerships. So for you to effectively be able to document results or report results, you have to understand input and outcome. So input refers to all physical and non-physical assets that are used as the basis for adding value to a given project and contributing to achieving project goals and objectives. And outcomes are the changes that occur as a result of your actions, and the dictionary shows it as an observable end result. So for you to effectively communicate results, you have to differentiate between these two. Result is what the outcomes are. In most cases, people concentrate on the input and they are only communicating of we bought scholastic materials for students, we bought them this, but what we want when documenting results is what did you achieve after providing those things, and that is the outcome. So project outcomes define the impact created by a particular project. So what is impact reporting? An impact report is an article to communicate the difference the organization is making on people and the planet. Your impact should tell readers the actions of your organization is responsible for and the changes that these organizations have created. It also explores outcomes and the meaningful change of these outcomes. So communicating results, you demonstrate the transparency and effectiveness of the organization, just like we have seen in the previous slides, which will help you attract donors and demonstrate accountability. So it's important to give credit to the organization, partners, governments, and international agencies that you're working with while reporting the results, because this way they will feel appreciated, and it will also help them promote the work that they do in helping people. It's very important for you to note that we document impact through success stories and most significant changes. Some of the questions that will help you measure the impact are: what was the situation like before this project was implemented? This question will help you understand the situation that was there before you brought in this project. And then what the situation is now, or what is the situation now, will help you understand how the implementation of that project has helped the people. So these two questions will distinguish between the previous and the current, then which will obviously show you the impact created. So what statistics? So we'll share the statistics of the people this project has impacted. This will help you gauge the number of people your project has helped. And it's also important to note that individuals can share statistics of change on themselves. So this, you do it by asking someone to tell you how the project has helped them. Like, for example, if the project is about farming, the person will be able to tell you that before the implementation of this project, I was earning 20,000 from my crops. After implementation, I'm earning 20,000, and that you are sharing the result or the impact created by that project. So how to write an impact report? It's important for you to focus on the outcomes, because that is the basis of showing the result of a particular project. And there is nothing perfect, so be transparent in your problems, including what hasn't gone wrong. This will help you provide transparency and openness. It will also help you inform the next decision on making the project better as you progress. So you discuss your plan to improve these areas and steps you will take to prevent these issues from arising again. Donors will be much more accepting of this and have better faith in you because of your transparency and planning. So I'll give an example of, in case you introduced learning through play in school, and your main aim was to make sure that students enjoy learning, as because they are learning as they are playing. But in the end, you realize that your intervention did not work because the children only concentrated on playing and they did not learn. So this will inform the next decision on how can you make that better the next time you implement it. So again, communicating results effectively. Focus on results, especially positive result of the program. Stories and the background about how the organization has helped or is helping a person or community. Make sure you tell it clearly. The opening of a service or place. You should also look at the innovative approaches being taken by a program or initiative. Consider profiling of inspiring persons that have been encountered during the course of implementing a program, because this will help you clearly show the results in the projects, like how the project has impacted them. While writing results or reporting results, use simple language. Confirm the basic facts of the story. This could be the names of the people. It could include the quotes, like to show that these people are the real people that told the story. Do not forget to give credit to the partners that you worked with. It will help you show who you worked with and also give them, help them in the work that they do so that people will be able to know they are working with you. Stories are more lived, or pictures add more meaning to your story, so make sure you take a picture to accompany your story. Put yourself in the shoes of the reader, so as you're rating, make sure you put in yourself in your reader's story. What would they, or how would they want this story to be like, or how will they enjoy that story? So we talked about audience. Even the different recorded session, there is considering your audience as your rating, so know who you're rating for. Ensure you have all necessary internal approvals before publishing. Different organizations have different rules. This could be about the colors that the organization uses, especially if you're documenting children, what are the rules about children and publishing, all those things. So make sure you have all the organization approvals before putting out the content. So in effective storytelling, this slide was extracted from a UNDP page. It says, compelling human interest stories. The story should have the human being at the center of the narrative. It should give a personal perspective with the reader or viewer, which the reader or viewer can connect to. The technical information provide the context and cover the basic 5 W's. We'll look at this as we go on. What is the project? Why is the project important? Where is the project taking place? Who is going to benefit? Who are the partners? How will it be implemented? That is basically concentrating on, bringing out the 5 W's in your story. So what is the story then? If it's not clear how the results can be developed into a story, try the issue, action, impact format. Issue is what was the problem to be solved. Action is what did the organization do, and impact is the result, then what happened next. So what is the issue the program is responding to? What are the actions being taken to address, and what's the difference it's making in people's lives? So identifying the impact is to know the change, understanding impact is just basically understand that impact is a change experienced by project beneficiaries. And in most cases, it's a positive change. So this picture will help us, this slide will help us get out more. It's a study. It shows us impact. Provide a beneficiary with a mobility tricycle. That is an activity that was done. They trained him to operate and maintain the tricycle. That is still an activity that was done. So what was the impact? The impact is that this boy has independent mobility. He has more social interaction. He can access education and higher self-esteem. So that is the impact that the activities above created in this boy's life. And that is the result we are talking about. So independent mobility, the beneficiary is operating a tricycle. Social interaction, he says, he now goes to church and goes to watch football independently. Education, he now goes to school. Higher self-esteem, he says his peers respect him more, and his mother says he is more confident. So this is a clear picture showing you activities done and the impact created from the intervention. So when reporting impact through beneficiary stories, make sure your stories are easy to remember. Make the boring data into appealing content. We have a session recorded on how to use visuals to make appealing reports. You can refer to it. Is your story easy to understand? Then instill emotions and amplify change. And when gathering these stories, put your audiences in mind. Who is your audience? We have a session recorded about knowing your audience. You can refer to it also. So who will write the story is a very important aspect to note. How will the story be told? And so in writing your story, it should be time bound, it should be specific, it should be emotional, it should have focus, stick to the theme. What exactly are you writing about? Do not put so many things into one. If you're talking about agriculture, don't mix it with education, then you put in like so many things together. Make sure you stick to the theme you're writing about. Then you can use social media to publicize your work. You can use personal connections. And it's also important, just like we talked about previously, to use simple words when writing and from the subject. Okay. So this is a key element to show impact. You can show impact through the person. You look at the challenge, you look at the resolution, and what the transformation has been. Our mantra for this session is always looking at the 5WH and the so what of every story that you're writing. The first is, what is the project about? Why is it important? Where is the project taking place? Who is going to benefit? Who are the partners? How will it be implemented? And then the so what? How have we changed lives? These are some of the references that we have used, that we have got this information from. You can as well utilize them to read more about this topic. Thank you for listening to me. These are our contacts. You can reach out in case of any inquiries.